Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P-Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab where I do what I do for you. Let's go. I got something nice for you today. Hope you can understand it. This is what you call an advanced lesson. So let's go. Rightism. 25 rules to live by. Storytelling. Story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in and receiving them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's rock. Right thinking mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get there. A person who knows not, and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believes and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself, and to Maya, be true. Let me show you a little picture here. This is called the scales of Maya, but they're going to show you how on one side, you see the ab, that's the heart right there. You see how see how it's spelled? That means it's been scientifically proven. This is the feather Maya. She represents justice and karmic concepts that if you follow them, if you do them, you will be fine. And the way of the scale is based on you, the individual. And they got this guy called Shah. He represents symbol, a deity. He represents your fortune. You got Mishkanet. She represents karma, your Irie. She's the one that delivers. Who is it? Karma. This Grim Reaper, when he come, he kicks the door and he don't even he just come in. Okay, but karma gives you a heads up. That's the concept. But she represents wisdom and justice. Your heart, it holds everything that you, the individual, thinks, conceive, or whatever. It goes right to here. They didn't even keep the heart the mind from the head, the brain. They turned it into mush and threw it away. Okay, but they did keep internal parts. I got another lesson coming up for you there too. But we're gonna talk about today, right thinkers. Let's talk about the meditative mind, mastering the meditative mind state. Okay, and that's understanding karma, Sha, which is your fortune, and your destiny, reading that. Okay, let's talk about it. In the ancient Egyptian proverb, it says, "Mind as matter may be transmuted from state to state, degree to degree, condition to condition, pole to pole, vibration to vibration. Transmutation is a mental art. It's a mind thing, just like God. The most important quality that you can develop, ready, right thinkers, is a meditative mind state. Again, I said integral meditation. That's keeping God on your mind. I call it God consciousness, but there's a philosophy that they practice. I got my own concept. I don't know that there, but that's the same thing, same concept. We call it Christ consciousness. Everybody calls it something different. Mindfulness, awareness, awaken, nihas, bunch of names. But all you have to do is be able to control yours. That's the name of the game. And this is not to be thought of as what? As only the mind of a person that sits in a deep catatonic meditation, but a person who, while he or she is involved, watch this, in the affairs of the world. When I was a driver, I would do a lot of meditative concepts. Why? I didn't have to talk. I could just vision on the road, and use my mind for something else. Go different places and do different things. So while you're doing whatever you're doing, you can still perform meditative concepts all the time. Watch this. You can do this all the time. Knows his or her true identity. Knowing who you are, you can go inside yourself as often as whenever you want to. I keep trying to explain to you, when you get in trouble, you got to call God. That means to disconnect. I don't have to call on God. God is there all the time. Once you realize that, those are people who know their true identity, aka themselves. This is my goal for right thinkers. You need to be at that state of mind. And this is the mind that interacts with what? Every moment of your existence. You should be in total control of your actions all the time. If you do drugs, you do alcohol, that's why it's against the law to drive what? Under the influence. Because you ain't, okay, simple as that. That's what it's all about. And when you're in the proper state of mind, okay, unlike the previous discussed, the automatic mind, where it's on cruise control, because you done did it, memory, mind, muscle memory. Yeah, some things just autopilot. But unlike that, this quality, different change of phrase of mind, this quality represents vision of Haru, which is what? The vision to what? To be regained, aka knowledge of your true self, your inner vision, seeing the internal you. That's the spiritual eye, the all-seeing eye. It sees all of you. And watch this. Here we go. Now, in a sense and symbolically, people living in our ancient societies, such as that of Egypt and even in India, what happened? They would not have needed, watch this, here we go. I've been saying this for the longest. They would not have needed to formalize forms of meditation. Why? As we have it today. Well, why not? Because we have a bunch of distractions. They didn't. That's why. And this is because then, watch this, then knowledge of the existence of God wasn't a damn question. Well, I don't believe in God. Where's God? That wasn't a question. Why? Because the knowledge of God and the gods was not an object of speculation. But it was inherent. It was already known in the very fabric of the culture. We believe in God. That's our culture, to believe in God. Not to know God, not to worship, not to become God, but just to believe. That is not enough. I'm just saying, that's religion. Spirituality, again, watch this, was an inseparable part of their practical life. Everybody was spiritual. Everybody practiced Maya. Everybody was on their best behavior. Everybody wanted to be their best self. Why? Because they know when this life is over, they're going on to the next life. They knew that. We misinterpreted, they was obsessed with death. No, they knew the physical body was going to die. The spirit don't understand that. But the consciousness that need to go with the spirit, that's the mind, your conscious, and the conscious heart going to be weighed at the time of death. When you pass it, that means you become conscious of who you are. It's a beautiful thing. And so therefore, back to the lesson, therefore, their minds would be what? Constantly. So they God conscious automatically. Not like our young, they come out, they want to serve the devil. Okay, they want to worship. They didn't have no problems. Thinking about what? And accommodating what? Divinity, regardless of your activities. God was a must. This attitude of self constitutes what? A meditative state of mind. They stayed God conscious. We call it prayed up, Christ, whatever. But they did it too. Why? It lived for thousands of years in harmony with each other. A similar technique, watch this, and watch this, I know this too. A similar technique of spiritual discipline. That's what I call my right thinking philosophy. We practice spiritual discipline, keeping God conscious. If what you're going to do is going to be pleasing in God's sight, because if not, they're not. So as long as you're doing what's right, you'll be blessed. I lived that. I practice that. I teach that. Watch this. So spiritual discipline enjoined by what? Now you got modern day spiritual preceptors, new gurus and mystics, okay, sages, and they call this new thing, modern time, mindfulness. Okay? Wherein one maintains what? A sense of one's divine essence. Where? At every moment while performing anyone's daily tasks, such as breathing, that's shu, air, okay, and developing the witness, that's Amun, the hidden one within you, that's God. You do Shida to do that, to study to learn the hidden God. That's why you practice righteous living. This technique aids what? You, the spiritual aspirant, aka right thinker, in your development by practice, your development in expanded awareness, aka gaining knowledge of self, aside from what? Your common waking consciousness. You gotta do a little more. I told you this is advanced. This ain't the regular stuff. Now, through this practice, through this daily practice, your soul now begins to separate, watch this, itself from who? The ego personality. You're starting to conquer the ego. The ego starting to be less and less aggressive, where you start to get more and more on top of him and putting him in a servitude position. That's when the spirit is waking up. You become what? It's enlightened to itself now. It's starting to know itself. And now you obtain spiritual, aka self-knowledge of what? Itself. The soul start to recognize itself. I show you the picture that when the soul and the spirit comes together, your head is on it, but you're seeing Amun in yourself, or yourself in Amun. And through what? This identification with itself, instead of what? With the physical body. That's why the body don't mean nothing in the spiritual realm. And your mind and your sense perceptions, that's where everything is taking place at up here, even when the body is at rest. You see where we're going with this? So it tells you, watch this, he who grasps the truth, meaning self-knowledge, of the mental nature of the universe, gaining knowledge and understanding of the elements, shu, air, ra, fire, tafnu, water, geb, the earth, nu, the heaven. Those are all elements that we can learn and manifest and understand for ourselves. And watch this. He who grasps the mental truth, nature of the universe, as well, watch this, he who does this is well, what? Advanced. This I can tell you. Advanced on what? The path to self-mastery. The goal of all right thinkers is attaining self-mastery. We call it knowing thyself. They call it nihas. It's the same thing. Some people call it self-discovery, resurrection, nirvana, moksha, or whatever you call it. It's all the same thing again, but it's the work that you have to put in to achieve it. That's where I'm at. Moving on. That's my goal, is to get y'all to learn how to do just that. Now, foreigners who visited those countries, aka Egypt and India, were in awe of what? Of the spectacular forms of reverence to spiritual matters. They said we were the most spiritual people they ever known. Everything was done in righteous, respectful, virtuous ways. We didn't rob, steal, kill. Those were things that we lived against. And those who did it were punished harshly. Why? Because we didn't tolerate that. That's why. Death. Well, I just did death. My man Robert Williams. I just approached the traffic sign. Death. I just jaywalk. Death. Okay, anything wrong? Death. So that was the concept. So righteous and virtuous living was the way of life. For us, you strange. If you live and doing right, well, you on some stuff. You think you better than anybody. You all that holy sanctified. No, I'm just serving my higher self. Again, you can follow religion, and if you follow to the T, they'll think you're crazy too. Again, serving your higher self. Everybody's not going to do that. Why? They like to serve themselves. Moving on. It's the ego. Y'all call it the devil. No, it's you. Today, before most people are able to grasp deeper philosophical ideas such as those now being discovered by who? By quantum physics. Stuff that our ancients profess, they just found out today that's true. the heart, which we did on Judgment Day, we knew the importance of the contents of the heart. They just now that heart has a brain. Yeah, I'm not impressed. But okay, now modern times figured out what the ancients already knew. I know that now. And watch this. It is necessary for what? For them to now clear their mind of what? The erroneous notions of time and space and the desires that they have been what? Indoctrinated into from the time of their birth into this materialistic society, which incessantly promotes, you ready? The idea of getting as much as you can for oneself at the expense of others, no matter what. Dog eat dog, rat race, that concept, that's what they teach us. That's what we're indoctrinated into. Understand that ain't the way to go. So that's why you got to advance your knowledge of self and then do it and be better. Trust me. And watch this. This dangerous, notion of individuality, and that's what's running rampant, is in direct contradiction with what? The essence of the soul, thereby resulting in endless mental conflicts and mindful agitation, and that's the opposite of a meditative mind. A peaceful mind is a meditative mind. An active mind is a meditative mind. A right thinking mind is a meditative mind. Why? You're thinking and you're functioning all the time as one. You don't do it. Say, why? I thought. Oh, I didn't know. Why you do it? Excuse me. I raised my children. If you commit an act and I ask you what you did and you tell me what you did, okay, you get it passed, because now I'm going to get you for what? Did you know what's wrong? Yeah, you did it anyway. I got to punish you. Good that you know. So now I'm going to help you out with that. Early in life, lets them know the consequences of the actions. Parents, don't get caught up in, oh, I don't want to touch my child. You whoop they butt. You ain't got to do it if they're early in life. Just a little of this, a little spanking. They'll know the consequences of the action that you said not to do. They will know what comes with that. That's discipline. And if it don't do it at early age, it's hard. At the older they get, it's hard it's going to be. Simple. Let me wrap this up. I see the clock. Purification of one's heart, meaning becoming conscious. It leads to what? Your higher good. We called it sun and abundance, the supreme good in yourself. What? Being your best self. Muhammad Ali proved that. The greatest love of all was inside him to be what? To do whatever it is he did, be his best. Imhotep, my mentor, he was a genius at everything he did. I want to master whatever my endeavors are. I want to be the best I could at that. And living is the start. That's what I do to help you do the same thing too. But it leads to what? Your higher good leads you to eternal, immortal, and life and supreme peace. That's the level that all right thinkers want to reach. And the following instructions on meditation and reflection are given directly from our Egyptian scripture. That's a few of them. I'm going to take it down right quick. Contemplate the powers. Contemplate thy wants and thy connections. So shalt thou discover what? The duties of life and direct it in all their ways. Keep God function, keep God focused, become God conscious, and just do the right thing. When an idea exclusively occupies your mind, a thought, it is transformed into what? An actual physical state. You are what you think. Your thoughts becomes your actions. If they're bad, they're wrong, so is the action that follow it. If they're good and righteous, you become blessed. That's the simple fact. And reason, watch this, reason on divinity may not be known except by what? Your concentration of the senses like onto it. Don't let the physical body dictate what you do. Wisdom that understands where in silence. This is the matter and the womb from which humanity is born. Everybody comes from that same place. And the true God, humanity is born, and the true good, the seed. We are born good, not sinners. Understand that too. I hate that concept. Get thyself what? Ready to what? Make the thought in your stranger in you strong. Make the thought in you stronger while using positive to the world of illusions. Meaning, don't fall for what's out here. It's an illusion. Like my man said, Star Wars, it's a trap. It's a trap. Oh, praise the goodness of the Supreme Being, aka God, with what? Some use song, always with thanksgiving. That's my morning prayer and meditation. And meditation in silence. I do that every day, have been for years. In the wonders of his or her love, let thy heart overflow with gratitude and acknowledgement. Let the language of the what? Thy lips speak praise and adoration. Let the action, here you go. This is the part a lot of people fall short. Let your actions of thy life show thy love for the universal God. That's what you live and do right for. Why? If you do that, he will shine on you. Here you go, wrapping it up. If thou wilt alternative dwell, meditate, meaning you pay God's time. Watch this. And observe with thy heart eyes, the spirit eyes, thou will find what? The path that leads above all. Nigh, thy image shall become thy God. Let the conscience be your God itself. Why? Because the divine is what conscious sight had this peculiar charm. It holdeth fast and draweth unto it those who what? Who succeed in what? Here we go. In opening their eyes. Just as they say, the magnet to the iron. The eyes open up and you attract what you are. That's how it go. Law of attraction. It ain't man-made. Stand in place and uncover the sky facing west and sinking the sinking sun. They show you how to praise the sun. They were sun worshipers, but with the understanding that the sun wasn't God, it did God's work. And it make your what? Solemn worship to the sun as a setting. In the same way, you 3 times you pray at sunrise, high noon, and at sunset. And watch this. In the same way as it rises in the east in the morning, now make thy body what? Still. What did God tell you? Still yourself and what? Know that I am God. I'm doing this. This is my work. Love that. Hope you understand that beautiful thing. Thou alone can speak. Wonder at the glorious prerogative and pay to what? The Supreme who gives you the gift of life. A rational and welcome praise, gratitude, thanks, living forgiveness, teaching your children, again, passing it on. It's a tradition. Passing on to children your wisdom, instructing them in the offerings of your loin. Meaning your children with piety. Teaching them right from wrong. Instructing them in how they be and what? They will be with you forever. There's something they say about that. But wrapping it up. Reflection is the business of mankind. Reflecting on thyself gives you a better perspective about the world. No, about yourself. That's the only thing you should be concerned with. That's the lesson. Hope you enjoyed it. I got to go. But in closing, right thinkers, may you all live to be 100, me 100 minus a day. So I never know that my right thinkers with a meditative mindset have passed away. Get your mind right.